This is a dinner party, right? What's with all the empty plates, then? Plenty of knives and forks, though. But no spoons, apparently. Guess this kingdom doesn't believe in the almighty spoon of legend. That's because it's a formal dinner. Everything comes out in a specific order, starting with hors d'oeuvres. Then you use the knives and forks from the inside out. From the outside in, excuse me. And that's all part of having good table manners? And here comes the anxiety attack. It's really not so bad. It does mean that you have to get some of the finest food available. Excuse me, good lord. Manners and etiquette are secondary. Indeed, indeed. I'm told that you're acquainted with everyone who will be attending. No need to get stressed out. Yeah, I guess that's true. Please, don't encourage her. You know, being stressed out is just a waste of time. It's completely pointless. On that note, is the gentleman accompanying you going to be okay with a knife and fork? I'm told that folks from the East usually eat with chopsticks. Oh yeah. You've done your research. However, I'm a firm believer in when in liberal, do as the Liberalians do policy. I'm not especially skilled with them, but I will use a knife and fork. But of course, no spoon. The spoons don't exist, apparently. My, how elegantly handled. I'm impressed. You're as much a gentleman as you are a martial arts champion. You flatter me. Boy, he really is a complete sucker for a pretty face. I think he's being more polite than elect, though. Anyway, his grace is really late. I wonder what he's up to. He's probably in his room snacking on donuts. Indeed. So if the seat at the head of the table is for the Duke, then who might the other one be for? Indeed. Perhaps it is intended for Princess Claudia. Your attention, ladies and gentlemen. My humblest apologies for the long delay. It's Butler Philip. He's a good man. Presenting His Grace, the Duke. He's not a good man. Not even a little bit. Well then, I must apologize for making you wait so. I'm afraid that I was in a meeting from which I simply could not break away. This gentleman is Colonel Richard, commanding officer of the Royal Intelligence Division. I have a stupid haircut. I've invited him here to thank him for his tireless efforts in helping to deal with the terrorist situation. It's a pleasure to meet you all. I was quite gratified to be invited to this occasion by our Honorable Duke. I ask that you pardon my uncouth soldier's uniform and allow me to sit with you. I guess he had no time to change. You've got to be kidding. We're having dinner with him? I suspected this might happen, but it's still unnerving. About as unnerving as Public Clearinghouse. Ha ha ha! Excellent, excellent! What say you, Mayor Maybell? What do you think of Granseau Castle's Master Chef? Is his cooking not on par with that found in Bose's Anterose restaurant? Yes, it's quite remarkable. The wine selection also perfectly complements the meal. I almost want to try hiring him away. Ha ha ha! You are not the first to say such things. And what of you, Zin? Wasn't it? Is the food to your liking? Oh, it's excellent. I don't have the words to describe the sense of refinement and depth. I certainly believe I could develop a real taste for Liberlian cuisine, though. Good. I'm glad to hear it. And you, young bracers, I imagine you've never experienced such fine food in your life before. It looks like they're all eating flan. It's extremely delicious. It's magically delicious, even. Far more worthy of being associated with the royal family than the person who invited us. Ha ha ha! Indeed, it is a genuine treat. Hmm? I don't think he caught on that. She just insulted him. He's not that smart. It's certainly delicious food. And we couldn't miss a chance to attend so prestigious an event as this. Thank you very much for your gracious invitation. Ha ha ha! Very kind of you to say so. I do finally remember what my butler has been telling me about. We met before during the ruin incident. Perhaps our fates are linked in some bizarre fashion. Sadly. Yes, sir. Maybe so. So he'd forgotten all about us until his butler reminded him. He's not the sharpest tool in the shed, needless to say. Come, let us put social classes and ranks aside for the evening. Food is abundant, and the wine flows freely, so enjoy to your heart's content. I guess Captain Almathea doesn't get to sit down. That sucks. She has to just stand there. Your Grace, if we could, I'd like to do as we discussed first. Ah, yes, that's a fine idea. Actually, I have something important to say to you fine folk who represent the kingdom. I use this celebration as the place to make an important announcement. An announcement? And what might that be? I believe I will allow Colonel Richard to explain in detail. Thank you. As you are no doubt already aware, Her Majesty has been in poor health of late. However, she has been recovering and may grace us with a public appearance soon. That's good. Ah, that's excellent news. Could we possibly go and check in on her? Unfortunately, she does not consider that to be a wise decision at the moment. Within a few days, it seems likely that the terrorists plaguing the kingdom will be swept away. In light of that, the Queen's birthday celebrations will be held as originally planned. Well, the citizens will surely be happy to hear this news, as they have been looking forward to it. But surely that is not all you wish to tell us. Right, if that were all, you could have just sent along a message. Indeed, you are correct. Her Majesty is continuing to recover, as was previously stated. However, given the gravity of her condition, he has also issued a proclamation. Oh. Due to her tenuous health, she has stated that she wishes to abdicate the throne and turn over royal authority to her nephew, Duke Dunat. What? Yeah, I doubt that. Is this true? Joshua, this is... Yeah. The conspiracy finally makes its appearance. I was surprised when Her Majesty first broached the subject as well, but her illness has left her quite frail. But it is only natural. She has ruled the kingdom for 40 years, leading it through times of strife and war. All without a husband, I might add. Given that, I wish to relieve her of the stress of her duties following the festival's successful conclusion. As the heir to the throne, the decisions are mine to make. How terrible. Is Her Majesty's condition truly that severe? I'm ashamed that I've never noticed any signs in any of my annual visits. Isn't this far too serious a matter to discuss at what is supposedly a casual dinner? Pardon my rudeness, but this all seems to stretch credulity. Mayor Maybell, are you saying that you cannot take His Grace at his word? No, nothing of the sort. I simply mean that as an elected official, I don't understand why the successor to the throne can't be elected in the same fashion. That's true. If possible, I'd like to hear that directly from Her Majesty. Your unease is quite understandable, but we do ask that you try to maintain your composure and allow us to continue. As mentioned earlier, I believe Her Majesty will give a formal announcement herself during the festival. Could you be persuaded to shelve your doubts until then? Well, the issue is basically this. Once this becomes common knowledge, we cannot know how the citizens will react. This is why we're telling the leaders first, to help stave off any chaos or public disorder before it happens. This was also the decision of His Grace. Ahem. Well, yes, this is true. Also, the Queen's abdication of the throne will have international repercussions. The other nations on the continent will have their eyes on us, and we must be watchful for any action on part of the Erebonians. Surely you can see why it is necessary to show unified support for the new king. This is the world in which we are going to be living. He makes it all sound so rational. Yeah, he's quite the master manipulator. In other words, the official decree will be given during the birthday celebrations. But you thought it would be best to inform us first, so that we can be prepared for any issues that may arise, correct? Haha, I'm so glad to see that we have an understanding. If this all comes to pass, we're going to find ourselves quite busy. Yes, and we'll have to announce it to the citizens. I have a question. I believe that the Duke has a fair claim to the throne. However, is there not another who also has the same right of succession? Well, no doubt you're referring to Her Majesty's granddaughter, Princess Claudia. Indeed. It is true that she and His Grace have an equal claim to the throne. But it would appear that Her Majesty did not choose her due to her tender age. And I must say, I agree with her wisdom in this matter. I should hardly like to impose such responsibility onto a girl so young. Yes, absolutely. For the time being, I believe it would be best for Claudia to find a fine marriage prospect. Though it is strictly informal, there is already interest from the royal families of a number of other nations. Perhaps a royal wedding could take place as soon as this year. Oh my. I understand. If that happens, then we'll have two major events to celebrate. I honestly think she's a bit young for marriage. You think? Excuse me, may I ask a question? Zen? I don't mind. Speak freely. Sorry to seem rude, but this doesn't sound like the kind of conversation you'd want outsiders hearing. Particularly a foreigner. So how come you're making this announcement now? That is solely because of the serendipitous turn of events that allowed Bracers to win the championship. We had wanted to inform the guild of this in advance as well. I've already discussed the idea with Her Majesty. Gotcha. I guess the borough's military and Bracers are on just as good of terms as the stories say. That is because we lack the military strength of the Empire or the Republic. The harsh reality is that keeping close relations with each other is a must. In any event, do you now understand our intentions? Yeah, alright. We'll pass on what we learned here to the guild then. Man, I've heard some pretty unbelievable conversations in my time, but that was something else. I mean, I'm a foreigner after all, so it's not that big of a deal for me. I bet that was huge news for you guys, though. Of course it was. I can't believe things have gone this far already. I can't believe what they've been saying about our Beaver City sports teams. Huh? Never mind. But really, what a sham. A damn sham. Public shaming. That food was so amazing, and it practically melted in the mouth. Couldn't tell what that last flavor was, though. Understandable enough. But anyway, did you want to go for a walk to work off some of that rich food, Estelle? Huh? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I could go for a little bit of fresh air. So you just played tourist a little while ago. Now you want to go take an after-dinner walk. I sure don't get it. It must be a local thing. I think you're exaggerating a little bit. You haven't gone out to take in the sights. There's a lot of historic architecture around here, you know. If the mood hits me, I may still give it a shot. On the other hand, the kitchen may still have some food left over. You've got to be kidding. You're still hungry? But you're still hungry. If you had a blade to my throat, my dying wish would be for some liquor and a snack. I might go and hunt up a bar or something in a little bit. Well, there is one down the hall. Fun fact. The food was amazing, but the conversation and flow of wine were much less so. So if you'll excuse me, I have some lost drinking time to make up for. Have fun with that. Things have gotten serious. So delirious. We really have to find a way to get in to see Her Majesty. First things first. We go talk to the head maid Hilda like we promised. She probably knows a way for us to speak directly with the Queen. Fine by me. Where'd Mayor Claus go? The Colonel's points are all very logical and rational. But I believe it would be best to get the particulars from Her Majesty and Her Highness the Princess directly. Fun. Oh, now you're down here. Seems the castle blueprints are missing too. What do they need with those? That's suspicious. Very suspicious. Seems it was a banquet to remember, not quite a walk to remember. And now my mistress is yet another worry to wrinkle her brow. What a shock this banquet has been. Duke Dunan, as official successor to the throne, if anything could bring on a migraine, it's that. I mean, that's just a kingdom tragedy waiting to happen. Oh, here you are. I can't believe the Queen's so worried she's considering abdication. And Princess Claudia choosing a husband at her age. Events are unfolding so quickly, I hardly have time to react. Oh, it's you. What? Uh-oh. Colonel Richard. Estelle and Joshua. This is our first opportunity to truly speak face-to-face, I believe. The last time we saw one another was right after Mayor Dalmore was arrested, wasn't it? I'm honestly surprised that you remember us. I realize that we exchanged few words, but you made quite an impression on me. My curiosity was piqued, so I did a bit of checking up on you. Uh-oh. Don't believe what you hear, sir. I was quite surprised to learn that you were the children of Colonel Cassius. How'd you find that out? Please understand, I'm not trying to show off the Intelligence Division's capabilities. I'm greatly indebted to him from our time together in the Army. In the Army now. Join the Navy. Indeed, more than words can properly express. Might I persuade you to stay a while and talk? I've been hoping to speak with you two for quite some time. Huh? Pardon me, Colonel, but don't you have a meeting with His Grace? I don't mind being a bit late. Ah, yes, if we're going to talk, why don't we use the lounge inside? I'll mix you up a couple of virgin cocktails. I'll prepare them, sir. No, that won't be necessary. I want you to go to His Grace and inform him that I'll be delayed. Yes, sir. There was a look of death. Pardon me, then. Now then, shall we retire to the lounge? Please, follow me. Joshua, what should we do? I don't see where we have much choice but to follow him. We'll be a little late, but we can talk to the head maid later. I met Cassius shortly after I graduated from the military academy. I was assigned to a mobile unit that was under his command. And since that time, I found myself in his debt again and again, both personally and professionally. Professional wrestling. He did? And, what did you think of him at the time? To put it simply, he was a hero. A legend of heroes. And a master swordsman to boot. No matter the scenario, he could find a way to handle any number of battlefronts in every direction. It wasn't just a matter of sheer tactics. He understood and could direct high-level strategy as well. Quite simply, he was a man without peer. If I didn't know better, I'd say we were talking about two different people. So you were with our father during the 100 Days War? Yes, he was my CO. Even now, I can still vividly remember the excitement that filled me as we executed his plan that turned the war's side. Anytime I get to talking about those days, time just runs away with me. But this much I can tell you. If Cassius Bright had not been part of the Royal Army, the borough would now be part of the Erebonian Empire. No way! That's kinda hard to believe. Well, as a hero, he had a knack for doing unbelievable things. He left the army immediately after the war, declining even a medal from the Queen. So few know of his achievements. But inside the army, many soldiers still hold him up as the prime example of what a hero should be. He never said one word about this to me. Well, it's not really the kind of thing you tell your daughter about. It's not fair to criticize him for that. Hey, whose side are you on? And besides, why doesn't any of this shock you like it shocks me? Did you already know about all this or something? Well, I didn't know that he was Colonel Richard's superior officer. The rest I knew about. Vaguely. Vaguely? You're an accomplice? Hey, calm down. It's not like he told me any of it. I just figured a lot of it out. He told me he didn't feel it was something worth going out of his way to tell others about. I just don't get it. When he comes back, he is so in trouble. Uh-oh. He's gonna get what for? Please excuse us. We didn't mean to interrupt. No, seeing you like this is actually a bit of a relief. When I found out that your father was intending to leave the military, I desperately tried to stop him. But it seems that by leaving, he did what was best for himself after all. After losing his dear wife, maybe being with you was all that could help him recover. Colonel Richard? Now then, I thank you for taking the time to come here. I really can't keep the Duke waiting, so I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. Oh, alright. Our apologies for making you so late. Not at all. You both have told me the one thing I wanted most to know, and thus I have no regrets. Huh? How's that again? I'm sure we'll have a chance to speak again soon. Cassius might even be with us then, to share in the stories. I don't know about all that. Okay, who was that man, and what has he done with Colonel Richard? What are you babbling about now? It's just that it's weird to hear him talking about Dad that way. I wasn't expecting him to be so, well, nice. True, he doesn't seem all that villainous anyway. Well, of course he doesn't seem that way. Even so, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's got something up his sleeve. For now, we should probably put the issue of Dad aside. Yeah, I guess you're right. And I hate to say it, but I think that he might have been playing nice just because he could get something out of us. He's an intelligence officer, so he probably thinks that fooling a couple of kids is as easy as could be. Don't you think that it's going a little too far? You might be right. Let me be the one who's mistrustful of others. You should just follow your instincts and believe whatever you think is right. Huh? But just make sure you're prepared for anything. Don't let your guard down. I'd say a bracer's job is pretty much that, in fact. Pretty much. Okay, I got it. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, Estelle. Thank you? What the heck are you thanking me for? Anyway, we need to go back and see Hilda. She's probably sick of waiting for us. Yeah, she should be in the maid quarters. Doo-doo. How you doing, sir? Would you like an after-dinner drink? You can make anything you'd like, on or off the menu. Boy, that's, something. But a lot of these rooms are going unused. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba! We're not loving it. Do, do, do. How you doing? Estelle, Joshua. So, have you met with Her Majesty? I have not. But we're working on that. Oh, there's a dude blocking this. There's currently an important meeting being held in the throne room. If you were hoping to look around, I'm afraid you'll have to try again later. God damn it! And such. Yeah. We don't want to be arrested. That would be terrible. Would not be a good thing at all. Another long workday. Even though the Duke was Her Majesty's representative, the Intelligence Division was pretty much calling all the shots. Yeah, that's basically how it works. Excuse me. If Colonel Richard weren't around, I shudder to think what might have been. Bum 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 bum. Ba 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 ba. I've got to be careful how I store the food so those damn rats don't get in it. Which reminds me, do rats really like cheese, or is that just a myth? Oh, they like cheese, alright. I just want to clean up here and get back home. Oh, hello. Did you enjoy my cuisine? Did I ever? Finished at last. Now to get my cleaning supplies cleaned up and get home. Home is where the lack of cleaning is. Eckel? Eckel? What kind of name is that? Now where did Shea and Mistress Hilda get off to? This is just between you and me, but cleaning up after the Duke's meals is revolting. I keep saying that. It's hard to believe that he, the Queen, and the Princess are all related. Yeah. Colonel Richard is such an amazing man. Pearls before the swine, that is, Duke Dunan. Couldn't have said it better myself.